world may call you a heartless villain for walking away from family, but psychology has a different, more powerful name for you: the pioneer. Family is supposed to be our sanctuary, our forever. But for some, home was a battlefield. Staying meant a slow erasure of the self. Leaving, then, is not an act of war. It's a declaration of peace. This is the psychology of necessary separation, of the ones who chose their own wholeness over a broken idea of loyalty. Today, we'll explore why the so-called black sheep aren't the villains of the family story, but often its reluctant heroes. And more crucially, we'll map the emotional terrain you cross on the other side of that impossible goodbye. The journey begins in what we can call the family echo chamber. It's not just a home, it's an entire universe with its own unspoken laws and distorted gravity. In this system, certain truths are not allowed to exist. Criticism is rebranded as care. Control wears the mask of protection. Chaos is normalized as just how we are. Anyone who points out the distortion becomes the source of the problem. You're told you're too sensitive, too difficult, too much. You learn to distrust your own senses, to question if the fire you feel burning you is even real. Your role is assigned: the scapegoat, the peacekeeper, the problem child. You absorb the family's unspoken pain, believing on some deep level that if you can just be different, you can fix it. This is where a critical shift occurs, the birth of what we might term awakened perception. It's not a superpower, but a survival skill honed in an environment where reading a room wasn't about social grace, but about safety. You become an emotional archaeologist, sensing the fossils of old arguments buried in the silence, feeling the gap between a smile and the eyes behind it. This clarity is your gift and your burden, because once you see the machinery of the system, you cannot unsee it. The family, in a tragic twist, will often point at you, the one who sees, and label you the sick one. They'll say you need help, and in a way, they're right. But the therapy isn't to make you fit back into the cage. It's to heal the wounds you sustained while trapped inside it. This brings us to the heart of the matter: individuation. You cannot discover who you truly are while forever playing a part written by someone else's unmet needs or unconscious scripts. If you were cast as the family's emotional sponge, you'll drown in tides that aren't yours. If you were the golden child, you'll suffocate under the weight of their projected dreams. Individuation requires a kind of sacred separation, not always physical, but always psychological, the unshakable knowing of where you end and they begin. It's learning to distinguish your own voice from the internalized choir of their expectations. This process leads to a moment of profound, often quiet clarity. It's rarely one explosive fight. It's the 1,000th paper cut. A demand to apologize for a boundary, an expectation to rewrite your reality to soothe theirs. And in that moment, you know. You know the cost of staying has finally exceeded the terrifying cost of leaving. This clarity isn't hot anger. It's a cool, certain knowing. You are making a survival decision. You are choosing your future over their past. You are choosing you. And then, the world weighs in. The guilt arrives, weaponized by society and your own conditioning. You hear the whispers, but they're your family. Blood is everything. They conveniently forget the full phrase. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Chosen bonds can be stronger than biological accident. The guilt operates in layers. The surface fear of disappointing them, the deeper terror of breaking that invisible family contract, and beneath it all, the existential tremor of daring to put your own soul first. Here is the radical truth your courage affirms. Your first and most sacred duty is not to biological obligation, but to your own wholeness. Staying in a toxic system doesn't just hurt you, it becomes a legacy. It teaches the next generation that love must include pain, that self-betrayal is loyalty. So what happens on the other side of that decision? The aftermath is a landscape of stark contrast. There is an immense, almost shocking relief. The constant background hum of anxiety quiets. You can breathe a full breath for the first time, but intertwined with that relief is a profound and complex grief. You are mourning people who are still alive. You grieve the parents you needed but never had, the childhood you deserved but didn't get, the family gatherings you'll now miss. You carry an empty chair at every table. The loneliness can be vast. You may lose not just immediate family, but extended networks, shared history, a sense of rootedness. The world feels bigger and more exposed. And well-meaning people, those from functional homes, often don't understand. They're platitudes. You'll regret it. Family is forever. Feel like salt in an open wound. This is where the alchemy begins. Slowly, you start to rebuild. You discover, piece by fragile piece, who you are when no one is telling you who to be. You learn to trust your own judgment. You begin to build what truly saves many of us. A chosen family. This family isn't bound by blood, but by choice, respect, and authentic care. They are the people who show up, who see you, who celebrate your victories and sit with you in your losses without agenda. In this new space, you get to define what love looks like. You create traditions that nourish you and set boundaries that protect your peace. The healing is not linear. It comes in unpredictable waves. There will be days of soaring freedom and unexpected laughter. And there will be days when a scent, a song, or a holiday commercial pulls you back into the grief. These moments don't mean you made the wrong choice. They mean you are human, processing a profound loss while building a profound liberation. From this vantage point, you begin to understand the deeper purpose of your journey. The person who leaves a dysfunctional system isn't running away from love. They are running toward their own truth. They are breaking a generational cycle. By choosing health, they stop passing down the family's unresolved shadows. Your story becomes a beacon, silent proof to others that escape is possible, that thriving on the other side is real. You develop a hard-won wisdom about boundaries, self-respect, and what it means to build a life of authenticity. The decision to create distance is ultimately the deepest act of self-love. It is saying, clearly and finally, I matter. My sanity matters. My peace is non-negotiable. To anyone who has walked this path or is standing at its daunting beginning, know this: you are not alone. You are not broken. You are awake. You had the courage to choose your own life when the script given to you was a prison. That is not weakness. It is unparalleled strength. If this exploration of finding strength through separation resonated with you, please like this video. It helps winds of thought reach others who need to hear this message. For more journeys into the psychology of becoming your authentic self, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thank you for listening. Your journey continues.